Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing a review of a new poll released by Public Policy Polling out of the state of Georgia that goes over the 2022 Senate race that shows Raphael Warnock leading a lot of his Republican challengers, or a lot of his other Republican challengers, including Herschel Walker. So, first things first, new poll released. It's by Public Policy Polling, which is a Democratic skewed poll. So, it's not that it discredits the poll, but it's important to keep an open mind that as you read this, remember this was made with a Democratic bias kind of at mind. But either way, it's still interesting, I think, to take a look at. The people who are polled, do they approve or disapprove of Joe Biden's job performance? It is 46-48 approve to disapprove. So Joe Biden slightly more disapproved in this poll, which is interesting because, remind you, this is a Democratic skewed poll, so there are more Democrats than Republicans, and Georgia did narrowly vote for Joe Biden over Donald Trump. So the fact that he's disapproved of by 46-48 is something interesting to keep in mind of. That being said, who's more favorable or unfavorable? Donald Trump. 43-48 favorable to unfavorable. So according to this, Joe Biden has a 3% favorability rating more than Donald Trump does. Very, very interesting because 2024, Biden versus Trump might again be an election rematch. We'll have to wait and see. Do you approve of the job Senator Raphael Warnock is doing? 43% say yes, 42% say no. Not too much of a difference there. What is your opinion of Kelly Loeffler? 28% favorable, 47% unfavorable. A very, very big margin, which definitely contributes to the fact of why she lost in the special election back in February. Now, do you have a favorable or unfavorable opinion of Herschel Walker? 48% say favorable, 28% say unfavorable. This is very good for Herschel Walker if he is going to become a Senate candidate. Him having a very wide range of favorable to unfavorable might play very well for him. And then Gary Black, favorable, unfavorable, 15% say yes, 15% say no, 70% not sure. That means they pretty much don't know who that is. So, if the candidate for U.S. Senate next year were Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican Kelly Loeffler, who would you vote for? 47% say Raphael Warnock, 44% say Kelly Loeffler, 9% say not sure. This is something interesting to keep an eye of. This was the election back in February, and I believe the results ended up being around, 52-48 roughly? So 47-44, Kelly Loeffler, if Republicans want to win this race, should not be the nominee. If Republicans really want to win, Kelly Loeffler should not even be considered the nominee. I still think, in my opinion, Herschel Walker is the best Republican to run for this race against Raphael Warnock. I think Raphael Warnock right now, I would say, starts off with an early advantage. If it's Herschel Walker versus Warnock, I think this race gets a lot closer, but there aren't any other Republicans I think that stand much of a chance in this race. That being said, in this poll, who would you vote for, Raphael Warnock or Herschel Walker? Raphael Warnock leads 48% to 46%, with 6% not sure. Again, this is important. This is important that it's a Democratic skewed poll, so expect the results to favor the Democrats. Only a 2-point spread. So the fact that it's a Democratic skewed poll and it's only a 2-point spread shows that Herschel Walker is probably by far the best Republican to run. However, 48% to 46%. If those numbers are true, that means there isn't too much independent or undecided vote in this election, which could show when there's not a lot of undecideds and the numbers are this close, even though we're over a year out, it's more than likely than not, these numbers might not move too much, which is going to show the signs of a very close and early election. And then Raphael Warnock versus Gary Black. Warnock leads at 46-38. Gary Black not having much name recognition, not too much to look into there. In the 2020 election for president, did you vote for Donald Trump or Joe Biden in this poll or somebody else? Donald Trump got 47%, Joe Biden got 47%, someone else got 6%. So, that means that they split Biden and Trump 50-50 in this poll. And Raphael Warnock is still leading Herschel Walker 46-48. Something interesting to keep an eye on there. If you are a woman, press 1. If you're a man, press 2. Women get 53%, man get 47%. That makes sense based on the numbers from the 2020 election and based on recent trends. Women have been voting for Democrats more in an increased rate than in the past, and men have been voting more Republican in an increased rate than in the past as well. So a majority of the poll is women, and Democrats are leading by about 2 to 3 points in the Senate race. I think honestly that makes a ton of sense. If you're a Democrat, press 1, Republican, press 2, or Independent, press 3. There are 38% Democrats, 35% Republicans, and 26% Independent. So relatively close spread, but Democrats have a 3% lead over Republicans in the poll, and Raphael Warnock has a 2% lead over Herschel Walker in the Senate race. I'm not saying there's a correlation. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but it's just something interesting to keep an eye on. It goes into a little more of the demographics here. If you're white or African American, 62% white, 30% African American. The sampling by age, 18 to 45, 35%, 46 to 65, 39%. And the highest level of education, this is interesting because we've seen more and more trends that more college-educated voters are voting more and more Democrat, and less in high school education or less are voting more Republican. High school graduate or less is 30%. Some college didn't finish, 27%. 2-year degree, 10%. 4-year degree, 19%. Post-grad, 14%. And this is a big issue because obviously with everything going around in the world, the virus and everything, it's a big issue that's on everyone's mind. When it comes to vaccines for the coronavirus, are you fully vaccinated, partially vaccinated, not vaccinated yet, still planning to, or do you not plan to get the vaccine or you're not sure? 55% of this poll are fully vaccinated. 4% are partially vaccinated. Not vaccinated but planning to is 11%. Do not plan to get it is 18%, and still not sure is 12%. So that's about 30% of the poll are either not getting it or not sure if they're getting it, and 70% of the poll either have one shot or are planning to get one shot, at least. So very, very interesting. This mode was conducted by landline, 50-50 with text, and the media market is in Albany, Atlanta, Augusta, Macomb, Savannah, or other. So the Atlanta area, the biggest population in the state, that's where most of the votes are. Makes sense, the polling firm is done there. So yeah, that's going to do it for the breakdown of the poll. I'm just breaking down the numbers. I think it's very interesting. It is a Democratic skewed poll, so you have to take this with a grain of salt. But what I would take away from this, whether you're Republican or Democrat, is that if the election ends up being Raphael Warnock versus Herschel Walker, expect a very, very close race that you're definitely going to want to pay attention to. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please like it. If you're new, this is one of your first times watching one of my videos, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber of mine, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you for coming back, and I will see you in the next one.